Hi guys, and welcome back to my garden. It is the end of July here in the UK and the black spot has struck. I imagine many of you have the same problem, so in this video I'm gonna show you step by step what I'm doing to try to save one of my favorite roses, and this is Wollerton Old Hall by David Austin. So in this video you will learn how to identify the early signs of black spot, how to remove the infected leaves, what treatments I use to try to keep the black spot at bay, and how to avoid spreading to other roses in my garden, and what measures I'm taking to try to avoid the black spot to come back again. So I need to mention that I'm not a professional, I'm just a home grower, and I just want to be able to enjoy my roses in flower for as long as possible. I have been gardening for all my life, so those are the practices that I will follow and that I will advise anyone who wants to try to fight black spot and keep their rose looking healthy. So first, let's start by defining what black spot is. Black spot is a fungal disease that is in air, in soil, everywhere, and when it gets to your roses, it looks like round black or dark purple spots on the leaves, yellowing around the spots, and premature leaf drop. Why black spot is dangerous and how it can affect your plants. It can weaken the plant, stunten the growth, it can affect the flowering, and it can defoliate the rose prematurely into the season, and can make your roses susceptible to other diseases. I'm not a big fan of sprays, but in this case I'm gonna make an exception because I really like this rose. I feel it's only a baby rose, has been planted less than 1 year ago, and I need to offer some help in getting established and fighting the disease. Also, I know that if I will do something now, I will have blooms long into the autumn, and I also can avoid the black spot spreading to other roses in my garden. Usually, I try to select rose varieties that are very resistant to black spot, but this was one of the first roses that I purchased, and also I'm not sure if it's something related to the rose variety or it's something related to that particular spot. Last year, I had other roses in that area and they are not doing well at all. So maybe in that area there is not enough air circulation, or maybe I have put too many plants and it's too crowded. So that's why the roses are not doing so well. As I said, because I'm not growing any of these for commercial purpose, usually I'm very forgiving, and if I will see 1 or 2 leaves with black spot, I can leave it and I'm not too bothered about this. But in this case, I feel like this rose is really suffering and can benefit from my help. So let me show you how the rose is looking right now, and let's start saving it. So this is how the rose is looking now. As you can see, it's really bad and it needs something to be done about this. The area is very congested by other plants, and I think it's not enough air circulation, and also I have been guilty to water my roses in the evening, and all that humidity and the damp stayed there and it didn't have enough time to dry. In this area I have 2 red hot pokers, one Dusty Miller, one Heuchera, and I will remove and I will try to clear all the space. Then I will remove all the infected leaves from the rose and I will try the canes up on the fence, and I will spray the rose and I will mulch the soil. So let's start. The red hot pokers, they have about 3 years in this location, so they spread and they multiply. And the Dusty Miller, I constantly have to trim it back, so I think there is no point to keep it there, so I will remove it completely. I will start by trying to save some seeds from this red poker. I'm not sure if they are ready, but I will make a germination test. I will dig up as much as possible from the root ball, as those plants will go to another garden to be enjoyed. I remove the infected leaves either by plucking them or by cutting. I know it's more effective to pluck them. I will remove also all the leaves from the soil surface. I found quite a few blind stems, and it's maybe because they didn't have enough light to grow, or maybe the rose wasn't strong enough to push the flowers. I decided to dig out the second red hot poker because eventually it will suffocate the rose next to it and it will end up in the same conditions. So it needed to be done anyway. Now let me show you the treatment that I'm gonna apply to this rose. What I'm spraying with is called fungus clear concentrate, and it can make up to 10 liters of ready to use spray. It had very good reviews on Amazon and I decided to give it a go myself. This is a fungus control. It can fight existing infection, protects from new attack, and it's suitable for use in organic gardening. This is a systemic protection and control black spot, powdery mildew and rust. It can protect new growth and protect new plants for over 3 months when used at intervals recommended in usage instructions. I use a pressure pump to apply it and I've made 1 liter of solution. This was more than enough for my application. I spray thoroughly all the leaves, all the canes and all the soil around the rose. Here I took a moment to tie up all the canes and to train them over the fence, because I knew that on the long run this will improve the air circulation on the rows, and if the canes are bended will create lateral shoots that will be able to give more flowers. This is how the area is looking after everything is done. I couldn't help myself and I planted a dahlia, but that will go at the end of the season, so it will not crowd too much the rows. I also planted a heuchera and some catmint nepida that I was propagating, and I saw tiny roots and I decided to plant them. If they will grow too much, I can cut them and keep the area under control more easily than with the red hot pokers. I mulch under the roses with some compost and some wood bark, and I guess that's all. I try to apply everything that I know to save these rows. I know it looks drastic, but with the black spot the defoliation will happen anyway, and in this case I made an exception to use this organic treatment only because the rose was in such a bad condition and it needed some help. I hope that by having in place all those measures, I will delay the coming back of the black spot well until the winter months, and I can enjoy this season another flash of flowers. I will post update on how this rose is looking now in a month's time, so stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and you learned something. Please like and subscribe. It will really help to grow this channel. And until next time, happy gardening everyone! Bye!